Okay, good morning, everybody. I call to order the Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 Judicial and Public Safety Committee meeting. Can I get a roll call, please?
Member Childress, Member Desart,
Here.
Member Eckhoff, Chair Evans,
Here.
Member Heather,
Here.
Member Honig,
Here.
Member Krajewski, Member Ozog, Member Schwarzy, Member Tornator, Member Yu, here, Member Zay.
And Member Childress is now here. Okay, a quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes, or the business of the board, family, or other emergency or unexpected childcare obligations to participate by video or teleconference. Okay, moved by Member Honig, second by Member Yu. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, welcome Member Desart and Member Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so Chairwoman's remarks. On the agenda today is going to be, I went right over public comment. We have one public comment today.
Gutierrez from West Chicago. To start, Will and Lake counties have tried to take action regarding ICE activities. The Illinois Trust Act prevents local law enforcement from assisting federal law enforcement. That doesn't mean that ICE should be allowed to operate with no oversight. ICE is not supposed to be detaining people without a warrant. Yet we continue to hear and see examples where ICE is detaining American citizens and legal immigrants alike, pulling people out of cars in front of schools, pepper spraying unarmed people. No one can logically conclude that ICE has warrants for American citizens or people walking down the street. Police body cams are used to increase transparency, accountability, and safety by creating an objective record of interactions. I recommend that the county take action so that ICE agents are held to the same standards as local law enforcement. Just because we have a law preventing us from assisting ICE does not mean that they should be allowed to operate with no restrictions whatsoever. We can require body cams to be worn while operating within the county to ensure transparency. We can require they communicate to local law enforcement which agents are operating where and when they plan to operate and who they plan to detain and for what violation. This can ensure accountability for wrongful detention. We need the federal government to cooperate with the state and the county for the safety of our citizens as well. We cannot have the public putting themselves in harm's way to observe and record ICE activity to maybe someday hold ICE responsible for unlawful detention. That will surely lead to escalation the more this is allowed to continue. If the county cannot act on its own, then the county needs to coordinate with the state government to accomplish this goal. Transparency, accountability, safety. This is the way we need to resolve this issue. Thank you.
Hey, and so for chair remarks, everybody say hello to Mr. Wilbur's students from Hinsdale Central High School. They're here visiting for the day. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Wilbur for sharing your students with us. And on the agenda for today will be a contract for a tethered drone. And just so you know, we will be able to take questions. Somebody from the sheriff's office will either be online or be here to answer questions. So I would like to say that as one of the first drone operators for DuPage County, I did have to go through licensing, and drone technology has changed so much over the years. So I welcome any questions because drone technology has evolved and changed, and the way that we use drones has changed a lot. So I will also, in a couple months, probably be bringing a discussion about intergovernmental use of drones to this committee. So this is kind of one of the things I'm very interested in. Maybe. Are we discussing?
Didn't you crash that drone into a tree?
So
Okay.
I crashed that drone in front of the mayor of Bloomingdale. Was it Blooming? Carroll Stream. Yeah, I crashed the drone in public into a tree. Drone technology has changed a lot since then. So they have anti-crash technology now. So thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so moving on to approval of minutes. Can I get an approval? Can I get a move to approve the minutes from last week, 2 weeks ago? Okay, we moved by, sorry, who moved that? I think it was motion by Krajewski, second by member Childress. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to procurement requisitions. Can I get a motion to approve JPSP 46-25 recommendation for the approval of a contract to Adriana T. Anderson of the law firm of Anderson Attorneys and Advisors LLC to provide professional services as a child protection GAL attorney assigned to juvenile cases for the period of November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $42,000. Okay, we got a motion by member Krajewski, second by, was it member you? Okay, any questions or discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, can I get a motion to approve JPSP 47-25 recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Safeware Inc. for the purchase of a tethered drone for the sheriff's office for the period of October 28th, 2025 through October 27th, 2030 for a contract total not to exceed $67,892.25. Okay, we have a motion by member Ozog. Do we have a second? Second by member Honig. And let's, I think, who's from the sheriff's office? Do you want to say a few things first? And then we can move on to the questions.
Good morning. Might as well just set them up like the squad. Let's bring them out. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. I see member Schwarzy first.
Well, I'm going to vote yes for this. This is an easy yes for me, but I am curious on what's the procedure? How many people are trained to take this out? Will it be like a canine unit where you just really have one handler? How will this work
Well, I think great question, member Schwarzy. Thank you. And maybe my answer to this will answer a whole bunch of other questions. I know there was a social media post, which some of the things could have actually been resolved by a phone call to my phone because that person has my phone number. We probably could have covered this. This is not a drone that's going to fly freely. It's not a drone that we can just put out and throw down range and let it go 100 yards. This is a tethered drone that will literally go straight up in the air, 50 feet up in the air. It can stay up for over 24 hours. The intention of this drone is to put up at the President's Cup so we can watch over the crowd at the President's Cup for all the possible surveillance issues there. We have a missing person in Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve. We can find a clearing area, put this drone up, use it for thermal vision. We have an incredibly robust policy written by Lexipol that takes into account federal government standards, takes into account the Illinois law pertaining to drone surveillance, has very strict limitations to use, evidence recovery, evidence storage, all of the things. The contract is a 5-year contract, the drone purchase and 5 years of support for the technology of the drone. This drone is large. It will take 2 people to set out the entire platform for the drone. It has to maintain electricity to it to be flown. It is not a drone that we can just put up and drive around the neighborhood and look at people and look at things. It's going to be a fixed stationary tool for us in large, limited events when needed to have just an overarching view of what's going on.
Okay, member Krajewski.
Whose do we have over there at the sheriff's office?
Pardon me?
How many drones do you have over at the sheriff's office?
Deployed right now, 0. We have bought a couple of small drones for inside usage on SWAT events, high risk things that we have, but we have to get all the training in place to actually deploy these very, very small drones. Right now, the sheriff's office relies primarily on Merritt's drone team whenever drones are needed. As Chair Evans mentioned, Oak Brook is very, very successfully using a drone program. But right now, we are not using drones for anything. This is going to be the first deployment
I
drone.
wanna know that. And we're behind it because
Right.
I mean, I've been out a couple of years now at the Westmont events where they have at Ty Warner and they have the Westmont drone police team has their drones, up in the sky.
Absolutely, sir. And we've just taken advantage of the relationships we have with others. And anytime drones are being utilized, as you know, in Westmont, they put up big signs that say drones in usage, drones in use. So if we ever have to put this drone up, much like when we do SWAT training, there'll be a big sign outside the area that says drone in use.
Yeah, we definitely got to catch up. I mean, I was out 2 years ago, I think, at Ty Warner for like their big 4th of July, and their spring fling, and they have their drone team out there. They're checking out the tops of all the buildings out there. And they've had theirs for a couple of years. Oak Brook.
Yes, sir. We use it. We get when we need them. We do it through mutual aid through merit. But this is the first dedicated drone that the sheriff's office is looking to have, and it's a very limited fixed usage item.
And I think the county helped fund a couple of years ago. We gave money for the merit to get the drones for the accident reconstruction for merit.
Correct.
We gave them some money for the county did for that.
Yes, they did.
I assumed you guys had your own. I didn't realize. I know merit. We get money for merit to get to. But all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And keep in mind, the one in Oak Brook is a drone as a first responder. So that is not a tethered drone. That's pretty awesome. Its name is Blue.
Correct.
Member Honig?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for that information. It pretty much answered almost all my questions. One of the questions I still have is, and obviously there will be training from an outside organization to train the officers on how to operate. And you said that there needs to be 2 officers, correct? So then will there be a yearly training as updates come out in regards to the tether drone? Because I know in the village of Lombard, when I was there, we had approved a drone that was not tethered, and an outside organization would go through training and they would deploy this drone that obviously, again, wasn't tethered, not at the police station, from a separate location. And it would be primarily used for emergency response training. And so I guess I know you said the PGA Tour event and other events, but could this be used as an emergency response training? And then also, how often do you have to have outside people train the officers for the tethered drone?
Excellent questions. Thank you. So my reference to 2 people, meaning this is a heavy piece of equipment. So it's going to take 2 people to lift this and set it and put it into place. Because it's a tethered drone, it does not require a pilot's license to utilize. So we will have to continue using training with this company. Anytime they do an update, anytime we have new people who are going to be deploying the drone, we will get them trained. And much like we do all of our other equipment, there'll be continuous training, because you can train once, but if you don't train in 6 months, you might not know how to use it. So there'll be continual training, continual updates, and of course, continual policy review to maintain our compliance with state and federal law as it pertains to drones.
Thank you. That answered my questions.
Thank you.
Member Ozog?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm curious about the appearance this would give in a crowd situation. How large is it? I assume you would definitely see it. It's not invisible.
You would absolutely see it. It's approximately 2 foot by 3 foot when it's up in the air, and you'll see the tethered cord, and it's not quiet. Drones are not quiet. So
Okay.
if we're within hearing range of it, you'll see it. And again, we will have signage out that drones are being utilized. So everyone will know. This will not be a surprise. They don't have lights on it because it will be 50 feet in the air. So low flying aircraft will need to know that there's a 50-foot drone up in the air. So this will not be a secretive tool in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely. I think you can say that there's a deterrent element here. This past summer, I was in Traverse City, Michigan at a very large street festival, and it was very clear they had cameras up on posts that were brought in, portable cameras. And there is an element of a safety factor where you feel like, okay, the law enforcement is definitely keeping an eye on what's going on here. And so the drone will certainly be part of that kind of safety element. I want to talk about your very first comment, though. I agree with you 100% about using social media. It's nobody on this board, but those of us who are elected officials, talking to each other is really important. Social media is a tool, but it should not be our only means of communication, obviously. And if you have concerns, talk to one of us. And those of us who are on this committee are all very responsible and ask the right questions. And frankly, in this case, you answered all of my questions in your very first words today. So I was coming here with a share of trepidation, but it sounds like I would not mind though, if we could see a copy of what the actual written drone policy is, if that could be forwarded to us, I would appreciate that.
Absolutely. Anytime anybody has a question, just ask. We'll share our policies. There's no problem.
Yeah, no, I just, but there's obviously this is a really quickly evolving technology. So, but thank you very much and I appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
let's all talk to one another. Thank you.
Member you?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. So originally I was a little bit concerned about the price of the 67,892, but then I saw that this is like a 5-year contract. But I did notice that on the invoice, it actually talked about a tariff of over $3,000. And so this is obviously foreign made. Is it possible to get something that doesn't require the tariff, or did you guys research all the other drones and this was the best one?
We did a lot of research on this. This was the best one. I mean, obviously with the price points and I know the board's fiscal conservative on this, I wanted to make sure we were doing the best possible judicious use of our funds. So this is the best one. The tariffs did catch me by surprise too, but we did also reach out and ensure that the Sourcewell contract does in fact allow for tariffs. Otherwise, we would have had to try to find some other option.
Okay, thank you.
Chief Billadu, did you look into the price of American-made drones? Are they about 3 times the price of the foreign?
Generally speaking, yes, if you can even get them right now.
Okay, yeah, so that's a huge difference. Thank you for all that, Chief Billadu. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, can I get a motion to approve item 25-2563, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to American Made Safe and Security LLC for the purchase of a GSA Class 5 4-drawer safe for the Sheriff's Office for the period of October 21st, 2025 through October 20th, 2026, for contract total not to exceed $15,561.80. Okay, we got a motion by somebody over. Okay, Member Krajewski, second by Member Zay. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to budget transfers. Can I get a motion to approve item 25-2564, transfer funds from account software to IT equipment and other professional services in the amount of $442,000? Okay, the motion by Member Childress, second by, was it? Okay, motion by Member Krajewski, second by Member Childress. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to informational, can I get a motion to place on file items 8A, Safe Harbor Monthly Report, September 2025, and 8C, Public Defender's Office 2025 Statistical Report from the Public Defender's Office. Okay, we got motion by Member Childress, second by Member you. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Any old business? I have some old business. Member Desart brought up the question about the implementation of the Sonia Massey law. And so Chief Billadu, I asked him to say a few things on that. Are you still there, Chief?
I tried to run away, but I couldn't get away fast enough. Yes, I'm still here. So as the board is likely aware, this law does not take effect until January 1st of 2026. So the law is not in effect as of yet. The Sheriff's Office's background investigations are stellar. We have some incredible individuals who've already far exceeded all of the requirements of this law. I think what the board needs to remember is this. The Sheriff's Office is required to comply with the law when those requests are made to us. And we do already. We do this on a very regular basis. We make out the requests to all of the other employers, including the other governmental agencies already. And the law requires them to comply with our requests. So we cannot demand that they do. And unfortunately, through a training with the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, they said the really only solid way to gain compliance from any employer who doesn't comply After 14 days, and then another 14-day waiting period would be to compel them through the courts and try to get some court motion going. So that could be a state's attorney issue if we have employers who are not complying with us. In addition, the board needs to be aware that there's no real strength for any outside state employers. So if we have an employee coming from Milwaukee who wants to come be law enforcement at the sheriff's office, there's nothing to compel Milwaukee or the state of Wisconsin to provide us any information. So we are already very much in compliance. Our background package is incredibly robust. The waivers are all in place. We do all of the state, local, and federal checks that we can do. I don't anticipate any issues or any need for any further change because we're well in compliance.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that this committee had an update. So thank you for that, Chief.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, any other old business? Okay, new business? Any new business? Hearing none, without objection, we are adjourned.